finishing it. Okay. Parallelograms. If you remember what we talked about yesterday, in a parallelogram, what things are true? Opposite sides are what? Parallel. And then opposite sides are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent.
Opposite sides are congruent.
Already got that. Let's see. Consecutive angles are supplementary. Okay. 5. Diagonals bisect each other. And one diagonal makes two congruent triangles. Trying to just, I know I'm writing that small, but I'm just trying to quickly talk about it and have something that we can refer to quickly and abbreviated. You know, I would suggest writing that at the top of your paper. Then maybe writing it on the other side when you get to the other side of your paper. Why? Because the more times you write it down, what's going to happen?
The more times you forget, remember.
Better you're going to remember it. What's your question, Christian?
What's that last word on number 4?
1. On number 4?
Yeah.
Supplementary.
Oh, okay.
In other words, add to what? 180. All right. So with all that in mind, let's find the measure of angle K. Okay, we're finding this now. What's the measure of angle K? Well, what's going to help us? Knowing something about one of the angles. Do I know the opposite angle? It's congruent to the opposite angle. Do I know it? Do I know the angle next to it? I know it adds to 180 with it. I don't know it. What about the one below it? I do know it. So if they're supposed to add to 180 and this one's 112, what's left for this one to be? How did I get that?
Minus 180 minus
180 minus what?
112.
Okay, what's the answer?
60.
Couldn't you write that on your paper to tell me you knew what you were doing? How hard's that? That's what Common Core is getting ready to be. Explain what you're doing every time. Then they ask, find the measure of angle R. Well, if the measure of angle N is 112, what do I know about the angle opposite it?
Opposite sides are, angles
So what's it? So 68 for this one, 112 for this one. How about the measure of angle T? What's it opposite? Angle K. So it's what?
68.
KR. Well, I know it's congruent to the one opposite it. Do I know the one opposite it? What is it? Okay, very good. KN. I know it's congruent to the one opposite. What's the one opposite it? The side opposite is equal to 13. How easy is that? Very easy if you know what? All these 6 facts. Now, I might have led you in the right direction because I do know all of these by heart because I've talked about them just a few times over the years. However, you don't know them by heart. So you need to refer to each time and tell yourself, you know, this stuff when you're doing this. Okay? It's not just going to pop into your head. Suppose the diagonal of KRN is intersection at point Y. The diagonal, so they want us to draw the diagonals now, don't they? And they said, suppose the intersection is what? Point Y? Okay. NY is 12. So that makes that 12. Find NR. What do I know about the diagonals? They bisect each other. So this is congruent to this. So if this is 12, this is 12. So what is N to R going to be then? 24. Not too bad, is it? In figure BD is 74. So B to D is 74. Does that markings help understand on the picture? AE is 29. find each measure. First thing, find ED.
37.
Now, he said 37. Can anybody tell me how he got 37?
Smart.
6.
It's not funny. Stop.
I didn't say that.
Cut BD in half.
Why, if you know the whole thing is 74, could he know that that's 37?
Cut it in half.
Why? Because what about the diagonals?
5 seconds.
So you know that this is congruent to this, and that this is congruent to that. So if the whole thing's 74, the only way to split it up evenly is to what?
Divided by 2.
Take 74 and divide by what? And you get what? 37. EC.
29.
Why?
Because it applies to
Because EC is congruent to what? So that makes it what? 29. It's important you understand why, not just that's the answer. AD. What is AD congruent to? There's anything AD is congruent to?
AC.
BC.
I thought it was AC. Wait, are we skipping?
Oh, I'm sorry, it was AC next, wasn't it? I apologize. A to C.
58.
At
29 plus 29 equals? B to E.
37.
Why?
74 divided by 2.
Okay, and this is congruent to that, right? Okay, now AD. I guess my eyes skipped from there to there. What's AD? Are these two congruent? So AD has got to be what? BA. Because it's got to be congruent to the what?
Other side.
Opposite side there. Think we can do this, can't we? Okay, let's look at 13. The measure of angle BCD is 125. Okay, what is BCD? B to C to D. So that's this big angle right here is 125. Everybody understand that? Find the measure of angle BAD. What is it going to be?
125.
Because they're congruent. BAC is 45. Find the measure of ACD. What's it going to be?
45.
Why?
If they cut into 2.
Nope, because these two are parallel,
Oh, yeah.
and these are alternate interior angles. BEA. BEA is 135. Find the measure of angle AED. Here to here is 135.
45.
AED.
45.
Why 45 degrees?
Because it makes supplementary.
What does that make? A what kind of line? Straight line. We know from here to here has to be what?
180.
So that's 45 is what's left to make that 180, isn't it? Angle ABC, so that one right there is 50. Find the measure of angle BCD. Why is it 130?
Supplementary.
Because if they're right on top of each other, they're supplementary, aren't they? Okay?